Hey, hey, hey. All right. So this is going to be the 52nd rambling podcast. And I must admit, this one is a little bit more free flowing, a little less planned. A lot of stuff off the top of my head. So feel free to let me know what your thoughts are. Whether you think it's better to be a little more scripted and rehearsed, or do the whole free flowing thing. I forgot the little end of that little one was. Yeah, there was a time where I was doing news and I had a little the Drunk News Network. It was cute, and our motto was "We slurred it first." All right, so I guess we should start right off with O.J. Simpson. Orenthal James Simpson has passed away after a battle with cancer at the age of 76. Now, I don't have all the information up and handy, um, but we know most of this. O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murdering his wife and a waiter that was returning some sunglasses. Now, I was fascinated with the O.J. Simpson trial. Um, One, I was hell bent convinced OJ was innocent. Don't squeeze the juice. OJ didn't do it. He's fucking OJ. He is lovable, great, great athlete, well loved. Everybody liked OJ. I mean, well, he had his demons. Um, he very famously was quick to point out, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He did not want anything to do with the racial uh, issues that many people, Jim Brown, sorry, were discussing. He wanted no part of it. OJ cared about OJ and being the best he could be at being OJ. He left his first wife for a young teenager, married her, and they had a very difficult relationship. He was abusive, very. And while we like to paint her as this perfect little angel, she wasn't. She was a teenager married to a an abusive man, and they weren't good for each other. They weren't, and I think it's terrible what happened. And I thought OJ was innocent. And as more and more stuff came out in the trial, it was like, but he's innocent. It's racist Mark Furman, or it's this weird DNA stuff. We don't know that that's accurate. And yeah, I think it's common consensus that OJ killed his wife. Now, that doesn't change the fact that he was charming, endearing, entertaining, talented, right? It doesn't change any of those things. So, yeah, you still wish he was innocent. And he was found innocent. So you can still cling on to that little bit of hope. He went to prison for a long time for a crime he did not commit. He avoided life in prison for a crime that he most likely did commit. And his passing has brought up a lot of mixed reactions from people. The White House sent their condolences and did not mention any of the Nicole Brown stuff. I have to say, the death of O.J. Simpson does sadden me. I am very, very sad that Norm Macdonald isn't here for this. But yes, Orenthal James Simpson, arguably the greatest running back of all time. One of the most charming motherfuckers to ever live in California. Has ended his battle with cancer in a draw, to quote Norm Macdonald. And it makes me want to go back and watch that like fucking 12-hour documentary ESPN put out on it. I mean, it starts out with like O.J. Simpson's father was a closeted homosexual. Most likely, according to his childhood friends. And just, I mean, it goes into such details. And the gloves didn't fit, you have to acquit. Not taking your blood pressure meds or your arthritis meds and making your hands swollen also helps. I have heard a very fair, balanced, nuanced, and positive take on the death of O.J. While most of us believe he murdered Nicole Brown and the other guy, the waiter. I know. Unscripted. We don't know if he was penitent, if maybe he found religion, maybe he made amends, maybe he reached out to the ultimate judge and got forgiveness or tried for forgiveness. Maybe he's in purgatory, maybe there is no afterlife, whatever it is you believe. As far as on this earth, OJ's life is over. And I wish peace and healing for his kids, for his family, for the Golpin family, for the Brown family. And while we should all make jokes and laugh and have a good time, leave the fucking family alone. For the love of the flying spaghetti monster, leave his kids the fuck alone. Jeez. Shouldn't have to say that. But I really, really hope that Norm's son just fucking posts a long form video, or at least sends the list to Letterman and the rest of Norm's friends, and they just do a fucking long-standing list of just punchlines fucking with OJ. That would make me happy. All right. Now this is semi-pertinent. I'm a big fan of the United States Constitution. I love it. I absolutely fucking love the Constitution. I will swallow my fucking pride and ego and risk my safety for this wonderful fucking document. And we all know the First Amendment. We all know the Second Amendment. Well, we all should know the Second Amendment. I have previously discussed the Third Amendment, which is the you can't force a motherfucker to house somebody. All right, the British force their troops into our homes, and my home is my home. You can't force me to house someone. You can't. Constitution says no. Never been an issue until 46th president with the pandemic stuff. Fourth Amendment, my shit, leave me alone. All right, everyone knows the Fifth. But who knows the Seventh Amendment? What is the Seventh Amendment? Right? Well, the Seventh Amendment is a very, very short, very simple one, which is why I'm going to do two amendments. Planning on doing two amendments. The Seventh Amendment of the United States Constitution, let me read it directly, because I don't have this shit memorized. I know the amendments, I just don't have the wording memorized. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, in, 1783 time, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Okay. The fuck? Well, in simple terms, it protects my rights as a citizen to have a jury trial in civil cases where the claims exceed a certain amount. Meaning it won't be up to a judge. I have the right to request a jury because I believe, perhaps, that having 12 fuckers hear me out, I got a better chance of them going, yeah, he's all right. So even though it's not a, you're going to go to jail, you against the government. No, it's me against fucking Dale over there because, all right, this asshole is trying to sue me because the wind blew down my tree and it took out his fence. He's like, oh, you should pay for it because you should have known that. Blah, blah. So we argue it out in front of our peers. More democratic that way. Now, in England, the colonists brought the trial to a jury trial across the Atlantic. The civil jury played an important role during the colonial era. The colonies stoutly resisted the King of England's efforts to diminish this right, and the Declaration of Independence identified the denial of the benefits of trial by jury as one of the grievances that led to the American Revolution. Despite this right's prominence in colonial America, however, a right to a civil jury trial was not actually included in the original Constitution. Right? I mean, we don't live in a democracy. We never have. The United States has never been a democracy. Never has, nor will it ever be. Nor should it be. Democracies are flawed. All forms of government are flawed, but a democracy has a lot of very big flaws. We always talk about, we gotta protect democracy. No. Democracy is essentially mob rules. And that's not good. The popular opinion states that everyone's got to do that. No, fuck you. Everyone's wrong. All right? Fuck you. No, this is why democratic principles should be upheld. What we have is a democratic republic. It is a democracy with a safeguard, right? Yes, the people vote and they can make decisions, absolutely, as it should be. However, you have to have some things that aren't voted on, such as rights. I have the right to request a jury. I do. That's not up for debate. Fucking scumbag. Well, I appreciate that. Great. Good for you. You don't specify why I'm a scumbag, but hey, I do respect your passion on democratic republics. So I have the right to a trial by jury. Fuck yeah. You can't all vote and go, nope, nope, we're going to have the judge choose. Nope. I have that right. I have the right to own land. I have that right. You all can't get together and vote and go, no, no, we don't like him. He can't own land. It's one of the big flaws with democracy is popular opinion isn't necessarily the right opinion. But we all need to have representation. We all need to have, a voice in how our land is governed. So yeah, a trial by jury may not be perfect. O.J. Simpson was acquitted by a jury. Legal minds would have gone, but we have to allow the people to make decisions. We have to allow the people to settle disputes. But we can't allow the people to choose whether or not I have my rights. Gonna try not to get on too long of a tangent, but we have this beautiful, brilliant setup of a government, right? You got 3 fucking branches, right? You got the federal government, the executive branch. You've got the people, Congress. And then you've got the judicial branch that settles the disputes between the two. Now, I know you're thinking, no, the three branches are the Congress, the Senate, and the presidency. No, AOC, you're wrong and misinformed. You're thinking legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. The Senate is part of the legislative branch. But the Senate doesn't represent me, doesn't represent you. Congress is me. My congressman, whom I've actually met, and he actually has one of my military memorabilia in his office. Gave him a very lovely lecture in front of others. VFW got to meet with him. And a lot of respect for the guy. Former military man himself. But the Senate doesn't represent me, doesn't represent you. The Senate represents your state. That's why Texas has 75 congressmen and Rhode Island has 2. But California, Rhode Island, New Mexico, they all have the same number of senators. The Senate is your state's voice in Washington, D.C. It is your governor and your state Congress speaking to the president. Their sole purpose is to defend the interest of the state to the big bad federal government. In Congress, their job is to defend you against the big bad federal government. And the federal government's job should be to defend you from that big giant fucking planet, all the other people out there. And the judicial branch should be to settle all the arguments between them by going 7th Amendment, 9th Amendment, 3rd Amendment. That's it. All the politics, all the bullshit, all the other crap is just added fucking arguments. Congress is me. Senate is my governor. The president is the United States. And the Supreme Court settles the arguments. Brilliant, simple. I'm not going to get on this long tangent again or make it longer, but later after the formation of this nation and this near perfect government, we made a change that I think was a huge failure. We started letting you and me pick the senators. Well, that's democracy. We should have a vote. No, because we are now doing the governor and the local government's job of sending someone to Washington. Well, that's fucked up. That's not right. They don't answer to us. The senators should not answer to you and me. They should answer to the fucking governor and the state assembly. Congress should answer to you and me. That's why Congress gets elected every 2 years. Senators every 6 years. The governor every 4 years. Right? We don't fucking deal with the senators. We deal with our fucking local government. And if we're pissed at the shit our senator's doing, then we punish our state government. Simple. Everything is about checks and balances. Democracy is lovely, but it has some fucked up problems. A republic has some great strengths, but it's got some fucked up values. A democratic republic balances it out. It's not perfect, but nothing ever will be. It allows democracy to bitch slap the republic and allows the republic to bitch slap democracy. And now two different things have to work together to find the least shitty option. There's my civics for the day, and nothing else compares to civics like C. diff. Damn it. I'm actually going to have to pull this one up. Sorry. C. diff. C. difficile. Yeah. Moderate C. difficile. Not 100%, but I want to say the C is colon. Basically, it is awful. Fucking sorry. Clostridium difficile. That's what I was looking for. So antibiotics are good. They kill bacteria. Yay. Your body needs some bacteria. So sometimes you take too many antibiotics, or you take them for too long, or just the luck of the fucking draw. The good bacteria in your tummy and your intestines dies. And now it doesn't break down your poo properly. So stuff that shouldn't make it into the exit makes it. And the smell of C. diff poop is not lovely. The consistency, the color, pretty much everything about your poo is awful. It's bad. If you're wondering if you have C. diff, you're only asking that because something is clearly wrong. And if it's that fucking bad, go get it checked out, please. I always advise reaching out to an expert medical professional. But once you've got C. diff and you know, oh, that's C. diff, you'll never question it again. In fact, if my niece next door has C. diff, I'll fucking know. If I pop over to borrow some sugar, well, in my case, most likely borrow some salt, I'm like, woo, you got C. diff, girl. I can smell it from here. So how do you treat C. diff? Well, in the civilian world, there are probiotics, and even sometimes you will be given bacteria to take in the form of a pill, suppository, alter and diet. However, in the military, there has been other treatments. And in all fairness, in the civilian world, especially in less advanced countries or more impoverished countries or just more entertaining situations. There's another treatment for C. diff. Now, this is from Thomas Dell. So I'm reading his words, not mine. I'm reading his words because they are fucking glorious. I read from Mr. Dell often because he's entertaining. Regardless of how much Lysol you want to spray around the house, the fact is that human beings need certain types of bacteria. While some bacteria is bad and eats our face, makes us sick, there's other bacteria that helps us digest and swims around us in a symbiotic, partnered relationship. Without these bacteria, we're actually on the road to ruin. It's a weird situation, but you've gotten along so far. It is possible for this bacteria within us to die off, raising medical issues. It doesn't just happen often. However, when it does, we start feeling really awful. Many ways to treat this problem. One way to fix this problem is the unbelievably disgusting, and this is what I wanted. Yes, this is why I'm talking about poop. Fecal transplant, wherein bacteria located within the feces of a donor is placed in your lower colon to have a grand old time and start new life in your bowels. However, if you are in the situation and it is risking your life, you should be open to this treatment. So in a less hilariously sterile clinical phrase, poop transplant. That's right. You got no good bacteria in your lowers. You know what? I got some in mine. There is a blood type. You're A positive, you're B negative, you're O positive, universal. However, there is no poop type. There is no scraping the inside of your cheek to find out what your shit category is. Nope. Poop is poop. But you don't have the bacteria. My poop got all kinds of good bacteria in it. So, all right. Bend over. I'm going to shove my shit into your ass and save your life. Yes, this is a legit, actual fucking medical treatment that was more common than now, but still happens to this day. Now, I know you're thinking something. You probably got a million questions. The what's, the whys, the hows, the wait, reallys? But before I move on to the next topic, I query you with this thought. Somebody, somewhere, someplace, and I have not looked it up because I'm still entertaining myself with all the variations of such. Somebody came up with this. Someone thought, hey, and then convinced someone else to let them do it. And it fucking worked. All right, listen, Bill. All right, Bill. I know you're hurting. Look, I got an idea that might help. Anything. Well, you say anything, but I mean, I think it might help, but you're not gonna like it. I'm dying. All right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. And then others are probably around going, no, Bill, this is all right. And then it worked. And these motherfuckers like, dude, you pooped in you pooped another dude's butt and saved his life. Honestly, there was a 50-50 chance, in my humble opinion, that it was either going to be a medical breakthrough or a new religion. Because, wow. I mean, hey, throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, right? Ah, boy, oh boy. Mm-mm. Yeah. I mean, all right. The next topic on the list, I don't feel is appropriate to follow the poop story. I should have done better planning on uh, the organization. So we're going to randomly jump on something and we'll discover it together. Um, aw, boom, got it. In fact, so that we can all share together, I'm going off the headline. So, boom. Um, Doggo that flunked out of police academy becomes a hero in Taiwan's earthquake response. To be a drug sniffing dog, you have to be impassionate, which is exactly what this golden retriever was not. Oh, look at the good boy. Though Roger, fun story about dog named Roger. Someone asked me about it later. Probably a different stream. Though Roger flunked out of the Kaohsiung City Police Academy in Taiwan, his career in public service was not over, and has now captured the hearts of his people with his rescue efforts during Taiwan's recent earthquake, striking the northern part of the island with a magnitude of 7.4. They caused a landslide in a popular national park that destroyed several buildings and claimed a dozen victims. 8-year-old, in dog years, that's middle-aged boy, 8-year-old Roger was quickly deployed to the area where his exuberance and independent streak put him in good stead for locating the body of a 21-year-old victim who hadn't been found. Whether Chain Chi-san, captain of the rescue dog unit of the Kaohsiung Fire Department, as other dogs had assisted in the rescue efforts, it was only Roger who captured the island nation's hearts because of his earlier career setback and subsequent redemption arc. I'm not saying he was not a good boy. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing. Or that he didn't get along with others. But the requirement for narcs is they can't be too restless or independent. But these attributes are what we want in rescue dogs. These attributes were perfectly on show when he lunged for the reporter's microphone as his handler was being interviewed by Taiwan's official central news agency. Look at this good boy. Roger flunked out of police academy for being too jubilant. But that just makes him really good at rescuing people. So, Roger, thank you for that grim job of recovering the body of a 21-year-old victim. And I'm glad that your country is celebrating you and cheering on your success in a secondary career. Because everyone loves second chances and everyone loves underdogs. Yeah. All right. Now that that's out of the way. Vontae Davis. I said he was a 35-year-old football player, who passed away. And he was discovered in his home, and it was very traumatic. And Vontae Davis, his brother, says that the cause of death is unknown. But now that 911 calls have come out, and this is speculation, but it was the more saddening, although both options were sad. It was in a previous live stream I mentioned, previous Rambling Cast, I said it was either a medical issue and they won't report the cause because people would associate that with a mandated procedure, or it was a self-inflicted issue that is very much connected to CTE, and mainstream agencies don't want to push CTE too much because they want to be able to air sporting events. It appears as though speculation heavily leaned towards he took his own life. And his ex-wife has said that she believes it's a result of CTE. Which just makes me think back to he retired at halftime in a football game. He was like, my body is falling apart. I'm hurting. The game's not good for me anymore. And walked away. Young. Walked away early. Walked away and missed out on lots of money. And this is speculation. But also something that saddens me. I get the feeling that at some point during the first half of that game, he noticed a symptom, something clicked, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm fucked. I got issues. I gotta stop now. Can't wait until tomorrow because I'll talk myself out of it. No, I gotta do it right now." And previously, when he was told he was being traded, his reaction was, "I gotta call my grandma." The fact that his body was found at the home of his grandma made me suspect and fear that he had gone to his grandmother's because he was having some mental health issues as a result of his football career. And while there's enough sad, um, and I'm not pointing fingers, he made his choice and this and that, and they cover this up. And yeah, it's a whole fucking thing that maybe, um, maybe if I can sit down with someone who's passionate and knowledgeable, you know, I could do a whole video on it, whole interview with someone on this. Maybe they could convince me one way or the other on it. But the part that hurts me emotionally is he went home to his grandma's house, the only person that made him feel safe, the only place that made him feel safe. And I don't know how progressed his CTE was or what his situation was. I don't know. And that's not important on this particular viewpoint. Um, I mourn, might be too strong. I grieve for his grandmother. He went to the only place he felt safe and went to the only person that could make him feel safe. And he took his life. It would be very, very easy if I were in the grandmother's shoes to feel like he came to me to save him and I failed. I highly doubt that's what happened. I feel a multimillionaire with people reaching out, stroking his ego, and telling him everything he wants to hear. He came to his grandmother for a reason. He came to his grandmother because he loves and trusts her. Now, you got a man in his mid to late 30s who has everything in the world. And he comes back to his grandmother because she's the only one he can trust. I doubt she earned that trust lightly. Um, I would say, and this is all guesswork. I would think if his granny and a 36-year-old black man raised by his grandmother in the South, my experience, if she couldn't make it happen, nothing short of God Himself coming down could have. His brother, Vernon, NFL player as well. I hope he is there to give love and support and annoy the shit out of his granny by telling her over and over again, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. And I imagine if she's like those that I have had in my life, of that age and background, she's going to keep saying, yeah, I know, but appreciate it. So Vontae Davis, rest in peace. And Grandma, I know you're strong and don't need any of us giving you love, but I'm sending it, and a lot of others are. So just take it. Man, I really hoped he died of a heart attack. Next up on the list, yes, I know I crossed the threshold for making it a post later. So just gonna be live. Which is the thing. So yes, on certain platforms, I'm live. This is where a portion of the audience immediately goes, Donald Trump. Yep. 45th President of the United States made a statement that I knew was his stance, and a lot of others knew was his stance. A lot of Democrats knew where his stance. A good amount of Republicans knew was his stance. But a lot of independent voters, libertarians specifically, knew it was his stance. Donald Trump spoke out on abortion. And man, throw in Google Donald Trump stance on abortion, and you will be given 3 pages of why Donald Trump is a liar and pandering to women and how it won't work, with three exceptions. And they are: Donald Trump is betraying his base by showing his true colors as a Democrat. By Donald Trump is too weak to take the right stance on abortion. And my personal favorite is Donald Trump won't take a stance on abortion and allows the Republicans to abuse women. Okay. So, what is this crazy betrayed the right wing, lied to the left wing, and wants to abuse women stance he took? I do not support and will veto any national ban on abortion. Okay. Just quick, short headline. Got to be more to it. Well, yeah. He says in a very political way, I want to build up blah, 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 fertility treatments, people that want to have babies and this and that, because babies are awesome. I love babies. And anyone that wants to have a child should be able to have a child. Having a child is the best thing ever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Clearly, political statement to butter up the, I hate calling them pro-life, but the pro-life, anti-abortion community. And he does mean that. He does want to allow more funding for IVF treatment. He said that in the past. He's big on Americans should be able to do stuff. And then he follows that up with, I will not support a national abortion ban, which the left is not going to give him any love or credit for. The right's only going to give him hate for. And independents are going to be like, wow, I already knew this, but damn, that's ballsy. He wants it to be left up to the state. And that's the right thing to do. There are two addendums I wish to make. Addendum number 1. No state should be allowed to punish someone for going to another state to get an abortion. Your state controls your state. Your citizens, under the 10th Amendment, they can go to other states and do shit. Fuck off. You don't want abortions in your state? Cool. Fine. But you don't have the right to tell citizens of your state they can't go elsewhere and do it. So fuck off. And addendum number 2. And this is the difficult, controversial one. in states that allow abortion, you need to either require the father's signature or allow an option for the father to voluntarily end his parental rights and responsibilities. Now, none of these are based on my morals, my feelings. This is just based on fairness and legality. Either you allow the both parents make the choice, or you allow both parents to make the choice on the other end. If the male has no choice in abortion, then the male should have choice in. And you know what? Now that I said that out loud, that second addendum, nope. I take that back. That's a different topic. Any state that legalizes abortion should not require the father's consent at all. In fact, shouldn't even be allowed to ask for it. But any state that allows abortion should allow a paternal abortion where you can go and sign a paper and abort that kid so that it's not your kid and you have no physical or financial responsibilities to that child. Because even the argument of, well, it's my kid too. And again, this might piss a person off or not. Yes, that is my child that I made with you. And I have a right on that child's upbringing and treatment and this and that. But I don't have a right over your body. And yeah, it gets troubled, it gets muddy. Like abortion is just, whew. I believe everyone has a right to their property, their thoughts, their body. Oh wait, they've got another body inside of them. All right, so now it's complicated. Washington, D.C. making the choice. No, they suck. Fuck that. Let the state choose. Less suck. Yeah. All right, we'll go with that. The state can determine what medical procedures happen in their area. All right, I'm cool with that. Um, but my body, not your state. So yeah, fuck you. I think making it states right gives. I think it's the right choice because I don't know how a national, all 50 states, I don't know how that has a resolution that reasonably pleases everyone and follows the Constitution. Like if if it were me, if it were me, if I were king, I would say no abortions past 20 weeks without getting a trial by jury. And no state can prevent abortion before 10 weeks. To me, that's a magical compromise. Oh, I'm 9 weeks pregnant. I can get an abortion in all 50 states. Boom. Is that murder? A lot of people say yes. A lot of people say no. My personal opinion on that doesn't matter. My personal opinion is lots of things are murder and they have extenuating circumstances or explanations. I mean, someone breaks into your house, they are violating a loved one, and you shoot them in the fucking side of the head. That's murder. Justifiable murder. That is murder with a high five, and fuck yeah, you murdered that motherfucker. Justifiable homicide, no charges. Free to go. So, yeah, this whole that's killing. My humble opinion, yes, it's killing. But what's the bigger crime? I control your body, or I ended a life inside of me. That's the debate. That's why we can't let the fucking government choose that for 300 million people. State by state option, yeah, okay. Also, no fucking federal funding, no tax money should go towards, no federal tax money should go towards abortion in any shape or form. Sorry. Uh, my money should not go towards anything I am strongly against. That's why the president can't declare war, Congress can. Because my congressman represents me, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Okay, then you need to mobilize and make sure that congressman's not elected again. That's democracy with the Republic backing. A lot of my pro-life friends really fucking hate talking to me about this topic. And a lot of my pro-choice friends really hate talking to me about this topic. And I think the reason why, other than I'm an asshole and people generally hate me, is I take my moral views and my personal opinions out of it and try to base it on freedom, constitution, and personal control. Also, I'm the asshole that you're pro-life? Cool. I'm going to converse with you and talk to you and challenge your pro-life stances. And you're pro-choice? All right, cool. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take a slightly antagonistic view. I'm going to take a challenging view on this. So, Donald Trump will not vote, he will not approve of, and he will veto a national ban on abortions. Whatever side you're on, that probably annoys you to a point. If you're strongly on one side or the other, you're going to fucking attack that choice. And I'm going to take the reasonable opposition to that. And please, one-on-one, let's talk about it. And sober me and sober you can have a passionate disagreement, whatever side you're on. And you're not going to convince me because I'm not arguing my personal opinion. I'm arguing a reasonable person that disagrees with you. So this brings up a funny little thing. Arizona proposed roughly 2/3 of the country agree with a ban on second trimester abortions, which is all right. Roughly 2/3 of the country are like 16 weeks. Yeah, I'm cool with banning it at 16 weeks. 2/3 of the country. 84% of the country are in favor of banning abortions past 30, 28 weeks, 30 weeks. Let's go with 30 weeks. 80+% of the country is like, after 30 weeks, yeah, no, wrong. So Arizona introduces, they vote and approve a 15-week abortion ban, which roughly little under 2/3 of the country, 2/3 of the population are like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And someone on another extreme was like, oh, in 1864, there was a territorial, because it wasn't even a country, law on abortion that bans abortions completely. And that's never been overturned. And with Roe v. Wade being overturned, there is nothing that makes that 1864 law not valid. And went to the state Supreme Court, and they said, yeah, there is actually nothing that has changed that law. So that law is still in effect. Somehow that's Trump's fault, according to a lot of mainstream media. However, this is an 1864 law, and it creates a situation. Well, the federal government doesn't have anything to stop this state from making a complete ban on abortion. Now, 2/3, roughly 2/3 of the country thought Arizona made a reasonable stance. And that previous law, it was less than, might have my numbers wrong, less than 14%. No, I'm sorry. Less than 11% agree with banning it all. Okay. Supreme Court didn't say, we agree with that law. No. Because with Roe v. Wade overturned, there are no laws determining abortion. So Arizona pulls out some 1864 law, meaning there has been no law made since 1864 on abortion. Now, this one they just made, yeah, they pretty much got to just present the same thing while overturning the previous law. Now, if less than a fourth of the people approve that 1864 law, easily overturned. Which is exactly what they're going to do, which is exactly what's going to happen. But it created a media issue. Okay. Because now it's, Arizona bans all abortions. Arizona didn't ban all abortions. The territory of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and at least part, if not all, of Nevada banned abortions. Also, I know people are like, you don't mention Montana or Idaho or Wyoming. As soon as you guys actually matter, we'll mention you. Sorry, that was just beautiful fucking insult. Had to use it. But yes, I don't think it was that far north. I think that was a different thing, but possibly they were included. But because it's a political meh, Kari Lake had to make a statement. Basically saying what she is always said. But this is her. And the article, and it's a very right-leaning news article, Newsmax. They state Lake was on the phone whipping votes with members of the GOP-controlled House because the 1864 abortion law threatens her chances in November's elections. Pretty sure, my humble opinion, nobody that is even moderate on abortions is using that as the deciding factor between her and her opponent. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not. But here's her statement. In the 1860s, we weren't even a state. We used to hang people who were stealing horses and cattle. We don't do that anymore. They didn't have the medical expertise. We didn't have the research, and women couldn't even vote. Slavery was still legal in the United States. We need to modernize this law for people today. Wow. That's actually an intelligent, thoughtful statement that actually doesn't even address abortion at all. It's almost as though abortion isn't the main topic. It's who the fuck are you to tell me? We weren't a state and women couldn't vote. Black people couldn't vote. Slavery was legal. So that law, fuck them. Overturn it, make a new law. That's, don't know how more reasonable that could be. All right. So, I have 2 topics left to cover. And went over time. Well, not that much. But do I want to cover both these topics? Or do I just want to cover one and then bounce? I'll let you decide. All right, fucking hell. Facebook sucks. I gotta fucking go to Facebook to see if anyone has any comments because I can't fucking read the comments on Facebook. Really annoying, by the way. All right. Well, thankfully, Facebook has no fucking comments. Thankfully. All right. Thank you, Rumble. We're going to sidestep the J.K. Rowling situation slightly. The Ninth Amendment of the Constitution. The Ninth Amendment of the Constitution is very simple, very easy. All the fucking rights given does not mean those are your only rights. These are your enumerated rights. These are the rights that we've agreed are yours. It was supposed to be the last amendment to the Bill of Rights. But then the 10th Amendment, which is probably my favorite of the Bill of Rights. But also the reason why the Ninth Amendment is all the previous rights that we guarantee are yours are not your only rights. They're the rights that the government can't take away. Then, as you all know, but sadly, no. The 10th Amendment, the final amendment in the Bill of Rights, was make it short, simple, and sweet. Whatever The federal government doesn't say, the state gets to say. Whatever the state says, federal government has to answer to. Federal Washington, D.C. owes your governor some stuff. And your governor owes the president some stuff. So all those rights beforehand, they're yours. President can't take them. Governor can't take them. They're yours. Everything after this is a discussion between your governor and your president. And it's going to be fucking fun to figure it out. All right. Now, I am going to play you a short little bit of entertainment. And I am going to utilize the I'm going to utilize the utilities. Looking for something at random that is oh, that's embarrassing as fuck. I'm gonna toss that one out there. Oh, back when I was doing that one's offensive. All right. So here's the fun part. I'm going to share this. Although I am going to add a itty bitty though. That'll cover it. All right. I am going to play this and I'm going to utilize the restroom. And when I get back, figure out where we go from here. Hey. So this video that I recorded today that you're about to watch, the lighting is terrible. I tweaked the brightness a little bit to see if that helps. The audio also pretty bad. Using a different camera in that room, and that camera seems to add like 50 pounds to me, and I'm not a small dude. Uh, I don't know. I'm like 180, and that makes me look like 260. I'll take it though. Makes me look scarier. Anyways, I apologize for the bad quality of the video, but I do hope it's still entertaining, and thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Alright, so, first guess is this is going to go badly. You'll notice a change in location. I came into my living room to record a video, which I rarely do. I asked a friend to go and get some baby food. And I was going to taste the baby food and guess what it was, and then see how accurate I could be. To make sure I didn't cheat, I had to get the labels off. I remember this. Thrown away, and I have no idea. So I can't tell you if I'm guessing correctly or not. But I think the important thing isn't my ability to guess. It's how terribly nasty this stuff tastes. So I got a towel. It's a Star Wars towel. I like Star Wars. Now I have very few food allergies, but I'm not the best when it comes to eating fruits and vegetables and healthy stuff. So there's no shrimp, iodine, no seafood, no mercury, and no mushrooms in any of this. It looks like baby shit. It's this green texture. That's almost okay. I like green beans. Kind of funny, I'm doing a live reaction to myself. And I generally don't feed them to someone else to pass them through their digestive system before I eat it. But I'm fairly certain this is green beans of some variety. Could be peas. Could be some medley. I don't know. Pre-digested green beans and peas. I don't hate peas. I don't like peas. I like green beans. Hey, I still have that shirt. I know. I know it seems weird. I still have that shirt. It's not been that long. That was a whole half country ago. Different state. Huh. It looks the same. And see, I don't know what name brand this is either. Super excited about this. I hear that clicking. That means I was using that old camera. This is stronger. Should have spit it out.
The last one is definitely green beans. This is peas.
I don't hate peas. Just
I gotta admit that one was rank.
should have spit it out, brother.
We're good.
No, we're not. By the way, I did this shit sober. Stupid. Well, probably
that
not.
That was fucking rough. I hate pumpkin. Oh boy, do I hate pumpkin. All forms of pumpkin, I really hate.
I knew she fucking.
Tell you what I hate worse. Carrots.
Oh, God.
It really just...
Honestly, I don't remember what year this was.
No, I think the problem with the peas...
My my daughter was here.
The foul taste.
And fucking laughed her ass off at this.
No. Was I got a smell of it first.
Her little sister was still eating baby food at the time.
It's down.
You know, me and Cooper did this.
All right.
He didn't have the balls to actually eat the baby food, though. Me and my name out for me.
Guess that the first jar
Tried
was
this
green
again.
beans.
He didn't have the balls to actually
Definitely
eat
the
most
best
of it.
The bunch. With some salt and not being prior digested.
Haha! Prior digested.
The second one was very, very rank, very strong. That I don't mind peas, but that had to have something.
Oh man. Gotta say the I should probably say the conclusion to that is super entertaining and you should check it out. But no, it's pretty even through, but really should check that out and go through my past stuff. Man. Yeah, that was in my old place in New Mexico. miss New Mexico. It was amazing. Family wasn't there, and family needed. Yeah. By the way, fun fact, unknown to people that, well, Alan knows. That glass door that looks like a front door. No, it was actually the separation from the kitchen dining room to the uh, living room. Like, this house was weird, right? It was like, obviously, two different houses, but issues with previous tenants and this and that and blah blah blah. And they were like, okay, we were renting out two different places and blah blah blah. And look, it's clearly two different homes, and obviously this and this and this issue. We'll sell it to you for they sold it for less than 60 grand. And when I left New Mexico, never should have. Yes, Ellen, you are right. Never should have left. Rented out the one half, and then, anyways, it all ends up. It sold for kind of just under 100 grand. And yay, profit. No. Um, Checked it out a couple weeks ago. Get my house back, like 140. But the exact location I was at, which was awesome and great, and one of the best places I've ever lived. I am looking at relocating south, west of there. Better place, better location, better stuff, and it will put me, not gonna give too much info away. Uh yes, the Mescalero, I always say it wrong. The Mescalero reservation. That's not their official name, but get closer to them. Yeah. Also, puts me 45 minutes closer to the semi-regional airport. Crop dusters. Doesn't save me much, but it doesn't cost me more. And man, dude, brilliant, awesome, lovely fucking location. I mean, sorry. So yeah, sorry for the word side tangent. Um, old videos just remind me of whatever location you end up in. Maybe you were born and raised in the same place. And that's fine. That's good. That's awesome. I was never born and raised and spent long times in the same location and all that. There is a familial, close knit bond, a obvious recognition to the cultural and local situations when talking to people. And you may think, I just want to be different. Yeah. I've never had the long standing, same place, long periods of time. I have never completed 2 school years in the same school. I have never lived in the same home for 3 years. I have never, I have never, I have never, and none of those are complaints or bitches or gripes. I have spent substantial amounts of time in all 50 states. I have driven in 49 states. I have slept in all 50 states. Now, when it comes to countries, before I graduated high school, I had visited, lived in, or spent time in 23 countries. Some of those countries don't exist anymore. Some split into multiples. Some others, some were multiple countries combined. Yeah. And then after the fact, when I was graduated and free and could be stupid, covered a whole continent that I had not been to, and lightly visited another continent I had not been to. Then went on as an adult, as a free adult, and also other places than military service and sent places. So, how many countries have I been to? I'd rather just fill out a map because countries change. Do I miss having a home and a place where I belong and people that I've known forever? I can't. I haven't. Can you miss traveling and being trapped in a spot? Most likely, no. So while you talk about, oh, I went to kindergarten with this person and graduated with this person, and I know them, and I know their mom, and I know their, and that sounds to you. There's a portion of that that makes me go, I wish I had that. And while I talk about, I was here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here, I'm like, I wish I had that. And a portion of you does. But would you give up all this safety and comfort and bonding for it? So it's give and take. But I watched that video, and it reminds me of New Mexico. And I'm not presumptive to say I belong here. This is my home. No, I'm not. I don't have a home. I have never put forth the time and effort or energy to have a home. And I've been a lot of places, and I love a lot of things about a lot of places. And I love New Mexico. I do. And there's a lot of things I can say about New Mexico that clearly point out how it's not perfect. Of everywhere I've been, I'm not saying where I've loved the most. I'm not saying what's the best. I'm saying of everywhere I've been in the United States, there were two places that felt kind of like home. One was Rhode Island, the other was New Mexico. And the more time I spent in my travels, the more I realized that for me, home is New Mexico. Sadly, family, friends, and that takes me away from home. But I got me some tattoos. Every tattoo means something. And I can tell you stories about all of them. But of all the places, New Mexico is home. And while I may not be there, I may never live there again. It's a possibility. But a tiny little spot I get to take home with me where I'm at. Tom Waits has a beautiful song, and I play it, but copyright is a thing. Tom Waits has a beautiful song about where I lay my head is home. And that's true. Wherever I lay my head is my home today. But in all my travels, all my misadventures, my heart has a location. And I can carry it with me forever. Ah, sounds so sad. But it's supposed to be a positive, happy thing. So let's just end this stream with. We are always faced with a choice of who I should be, who I can be. What do I want? And what am I willing to sacrifice? Do I want to focus on me or people I care about? If you think you know the right answer, great. That one, is that answer working for you pretty good? Cool. Is that answer going to work for me pretty good? Oh, there isn't a right answer. There isn't any of that. It's all balance. Be selfish and be 100% you. Be selfless and give everything to others. Which one's right? Neither. Give to others. take for yourself. If you live your life for others, you're not living. If you live your life for yourself and no one else, you're not living. How much for you and how much for them? What's the right answer? There isn't one. Whatever choice you make is sacrificing one or the other. Find the right balance for you. Now, if you're going to ask me, how'd you find the right balance? I tattooed my home on my arm because I don't know if I will ever go home. But I was 40 years old before I found my home. So you want to ask me the right balance? Well, that means two things. One, you don't have the right balance. And two, fuck, I can't ask you for the right balance because I don't know it either. Do you know the right balance for you? No. Do I know the right balance for me? No. So how the monkey fuck are you going to tell me the right balance? How am I going to tell you the right balance? Shit ain't going to happen. Do your best. Fail. Do your best and fail. And adjust. Fail in the other way and adjust. If you spend your life doing my best, trying to make myself happy, trying to make others happy, and finding the balance of being happy while making my loved ones happy, you're never going to be right. But isn't that a wrong that you can take? I think so. I think we can't be happy if it's all me. But that doesn't mean we can't. Me, I want to be happy. Yeah. Make yourself happy. Take time for those you love. Ah, man. All right, so 2 hours of preaching, 2 hours of pleading, 2 hours of being pathetic and strong and really, really dorky. I think that's the 50-second rambling podcast. Could be wrong, but let me check.